What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Cyrus Obsidian here at Obsidian Games, here to bring you another episode of Local Diaries. So let us dive right in. So for this episode of Local Diaries, we have been thinking a lot about some of our older decks that we have played in the past, whether that was this year, last year, and with the new format coming into play, we want to see how well those decks can take into this format, so that way we can give you good budget decks to play. Because we founded this channel with the thought of going to locals and playing on a budget. You know, playing something that is fun, something that you like, rather than having to play meta all the time, because we know how boring that can get. So I'm going to give a huge shout out to Spook88 that commented on a video that I posted back in February, 3 days ago. It'll be 4 days at time of upload. He saw my Tenyi Swordsoul build, and he had said that he was playing a going blind second build for his version. And so I kind of took the challenge and was like, all right, how can Tenyi Swordsoul play into this format? So we have cooked up a deck list thanks to his inspiration and maybe a few of his guiding words that he put in his comment. And we're going to take that to locals and just see how far we can run with it. I don't expect to have a big locals tonight like we did on Wednesday, because a lot of people are going to Denver for a regional this weekend. But we are still going to put it to the test, because I know there's going to be people there that are playing meta, and we are going to show how far this deck can go. So without further ado, let me show you the deck profile, and then we'll head out to locals and just ruin everyone's day with Tenyi Swordsoul. All right, so here is the Tenyi Swordsoul profile that we are going to rock with for today. This is a blind going second kind of deck, but I will say it is catered to helping us beat out Yummy primarily. I don't fear Canine Vanquishal as much. I should though, so that'll be a learning curve playing against that deck, but I also, again, don't fear playing against it going second. So, but anyways, here is the deck profile. We are playing 3 copies of Swordsou Moyi, playing 2 copies of Swordsou Taya, 3 copies of Swordsou Strategist Long Yuan, and 3 copies of Incredible Ecclesia. So I definitely like this Swordsou lineup. At times I did think about upping Taya to 3, but I think Taya at 2 is pretty good, because you need another card engraved to kind of help you go along with it. And again, a lot of this Swordsou is a more than a 1 card combo deck, so I mean, it is very much like Vanquishal, where you need more than just the 1 starter to go, but that's here nor there. And then lastly, I played 3 copies of Swordsou Emergence for our Swordsou lineup. I decided to drop the trap, because going first, I really don't want to go first. We can go first. I'm not saying that we can't, but we can't. So I decided to drop the Swordsou Blackout, as good as it is. I just feel like a lot of times when I was originally playing this deck back in February, we were bricking on it, so we decided to drop it to prevent that. So, and as you can see, that's, it is a lot, but it's not a whole lot for the Swordsou lineup. Now for our Tenyis, this is where we have made just 1 change. We are playing 3 copies of Tenyi Spirit Saruya. I just felt like playing it at 3 was the best option rather than playing it at 2. So I definitely did want to see multiple copies of it, or just see it more often, especially in a 45 card deck now. We are still playing 3 copies of Ashina, 2 copies of Vishuddha, 1 Shithana, and then 2 Adhara for our monsters. We are playing 2 Vessel, 1 Heavenly Dragon Circle, and then 1 Tenyi Infinity for our spells to round up the Tenyi line. So comparatively, comparing the Tenyi line with the Swordsou line, this is as much worm action as you get. Plus, for our board breakers, 1 additional board breaker in the form of Archnemesis Protos for our worms. So, you do have enough to kind of gauge and gas out. And what's nice is that you can play the long game too with this deck. I think Tenyi Swordsoul does thrive in a board breaking format. So when you look at this is 30 cards right here. And if you were to play this at 40, you have 10 slots left of what you could play. And if you were playing the trap, you have 9. So I mean, you could play like the Mulcharmies and Droll, Mulcharmies and Ash. So that way you can go first. But I kind of like the going second approach. So the going second approach is playing 3 copies of Triple Tactics Thrust with 1 copy of Talent. We are playing, and this is going to be a hot take here, 3 copies of Ultimate Slayer with 3 copies of the Forbidden Droplet, 2 copies of Lightning Storm, and then 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. So for this, Triple Tactics Thrust can pretty much search out this all right here if we need it to. It can also search out our Swordsoul Emergence. It can also search out the Vessel of for the Dragon Cycle. I think that's about everything that it can search out. So I mean, you know, you have a lot of options for it, and then you can also search out your Imperm too. Like, the only thing it can't search is the Droplet. So you're pretty much cooking there, and then it does search out a lot in our side deck too, so there's more to come for that. I like the Lightning Storms just being able to, like, if we see it going second as a draw in our starting hand. In testing, there was a combo I had where I had Lightning Storm and Droplet, and I went Lightning Storm, calling back. They did some form of interaction, so I dropleted, sent it away in like a Tenyi name, and just kind of cleared the monsters that were, you know, being a nuisance in testing. And it worked, which was nice. You know, I cleared out their back line, I was able to stop them. And then I also had I think an Imperm in hand too, which was wild for going second, that I just kind of held on to. Ultimate Slayer. So Tenyi's Swordsoul's deck, extra deck tends to be very tight, I know, but we have made a lot of changes to it so that way we can make Ultimate Slayer work. So for our Ultimate Slayer targets, we are playing 1 Garura, 1 Malong, 1 Aggregator, and then 1 Tri-Brigade Arms Bucephalus. So, you know, we're pretty much covering all of our bases here against Yummy, against Malice, against Vanquishful Canine, against Ryziel Mitsu, against Draco Tail, Crystron. We're pretty much covering our tracks with everything here. And what's nice is that you can send Bucephalus against like any link-based deck, and then if you know that you're not going to see a fusion, you can send the Garura just to get a draw one too, which is really nice. That's come up a couple times. And then for the rest of our, you know, Swordsoul lineup, we are playing 1 Boxia, 1 Chi-Shao, 1 Draco Berserker, 1 Mula Adara, 1 Xiaofeng, 1 Evil Long Yuan, 1 Cheng Ying, playing 2 Monk, 1 Shaman, and then 1 Sahasrara. So thankfully, this deck plays the attributes that will hurt Vanquish Soul, that will hurt Crystron, that will hurt Canine, that will hurt Mitsu, that will hurt Ryziel, that hurts Draco Tail. So I mean, you cover pretty much all your bases here. Against Yummy, you make Xiaofeng and just watch them cry. You can make Protos, Call Light. You can go into Shaman, go Protos, calling, and then link into Shaman, go call Protos Fire. They can't use Razin, Xiaolong, and that's what's going to really kill them. Because there's only so much they can do with Holisu, with Caesar, with Borger. It won't be enough to like shut them out, but for sure it's enough to kind of like hinder them a little bit. And then on top of like board breakers with droplets, you're pretty much good there because they won't be able to tag out if you send a monster with droplet. Imperms, they can dodge, but I mean, it's Vanquish Soul. And then our side deck, we are siding 3 extra deck slots, 1 more Monk, 1 more Chi-Shao, 1 more Boxia. If Ultimate Slayer doesn't pan out, you know, that'll come out, and then we can put these 3 in for the Ultimate Slayer targets if we need to. We were originally playing Dragite before, but like there were just a lot of times where I never made Dragite, so I kind of just decided not to play it this time around. And then for some more board breakers, we are playing 3 copies of Raigeki, 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More, and then 3 copies of Evenly Matched. So I think these are really great. Cosmic Cyclones is mainly for, again, Vanquish Soul, being able to get rid of that field spell, also against Yummy as well. Duster was just another back row removal kind of card if we needed it. Dark Ruler No More is Dark Ruler No More. It's pretty much a win card against Yummy. So we're covering that there. And then Evenly Matched, again, I love this card. This going into a Vanquishable board, you just watch them cry, and it's cool because they don't have an out for Evenly Matched. So, and then Raigeki's Raigeki. So I mean, I think it's a funny card to play. But yeah, that is our board breaking. Going second, Tenyi Swordsoul. Let's head to locals to see how well we can do. So here we are at Duke City Games. Love standing right here by the Outlaws guy. Right when we play against New Valis, and man, game one, he went first, hit a full combo. It was terrifying. Since we just played board breakers, it was not looking good for us. We saw Lightning Storm, we went Storm, he had Counter Trap. I was like, all right, we'll try and play as much as we can, and it was not enough. He was able to just tribute our stuff like crazy. Game two, we did go full combo. I made an oof. I could have had Protos called him Dark to prevent him from ritual summoning, but we searched the wrong card. And then game three, he went first again, and he didn't set up as mean as a board. We had Lightning Storm, we had Moyi, Heavenly Dragon Circle. We drew Harpy's Duster and then two Forbidden Droplets. So I was cooked. But we were going to try the Tenyi route to see how much we can do. We go Duster, he goes effective targeting. And I was like, okay, and then he goes effective the targeted monster. I was like, Droplet sending away the Duster. I need to scoop. So I was like, sweet, because I don't know how much we were going to do there, so I'll take it. So yep, we were able to take that win. So I mean, I ain't going to complain. Felt pretty nice to take it that way. Unfortunately, that's how we had to do it, but you know, it's what it is sometimes. So 3 rounds more to go. It's 4 rounds today, which is cool, so we won't be here forever, but we'll see how far we can get with Tenyi Swordsoul. Maybe we'll play against some of the meta decks. We can actually get a good testing. Round 2, we play against Vanquished Soul. So we were expecting this match, and it went by so fast. Game 1, we didn't see enough board breakers to just break the board, so we ended up taking the L there. We go first game 2, and we got nipped, and we had nothing left in our hands, so he was able to deal enough damage to go for game. So that was quick and easy, but that was to be expected playing against Vanquished Soul, since I know the deck pretty well. Had I seen a little bit more board breakers in game 1, it might have been a little bit fine, and if we had saw the Tenyis in game 2, but so be it. So round 3 just got announced, so we'll see where we're going. Round 3, we play against Illusion Chimera. We're familiar with this one, you know, whole Azumina, the Illusions. Yeah, so game 1, we go first. We set up into Protos called Dark. He can't do anything, so we just win game 1. Game 2, we draw. He goes full combo. We see Evenly. We see Lightning Storm. We see Moyi, Taya, Long Yuan. We're like, okay, as long as like we don't lose one of the board breakers, we're okay. We hit Long Yuan, like perfect. We drew for turn. It was another extender for the Tenyi side. I was like, yes, Tenyi, thank you. Or no, it was Incredible Ecclesia. It was Incredible Ecclesia, so even better. We go stand by main. We go Lightning Storm. He Ilya Silva's it. I'm like, cool, we'll go battle. And I'm like, end of battle. Evenly. Cleared the board. And then we like set up through everything, set up our shenanigans. He was left Chaos Angels. We had to figure out how to get Chaos Angel. Thankfully, Field Spell clears it out since it's not a monster effect. And we just pushed. We called Dark. He can't do anything, so we were able to take it. We just were swung for enough damage, and we took it. So we're 2-1, 1 more round left. But we got some good competition, so we'll see what we go against for the final round. But so far, Tenyi Swordsoul is not doing bad. It's not doing bad. I haven't seen Ultimate Slayer though, which is a little unfortunate because I want to see that. I want to see that resolve. But at least we've seen everything else. So round 4, we play against Draco Tail. So this was a matchup we were really interested to see. Game 1, we win the die roll, so we go first. You know, the whole mindset of like forcing my opponent to go first and just draw board breakers. I was like, as tempting as it is to try, I still know the lines for Tenyi Swordsoul when going first. And if we have board breakers on the crackback, we have board breakers on the crackback because this deck cannot OTK. So we go first. We set up Protos called Dark. all he had in hand was dark. So we take game 1 with the sweep. We go game 2. We sided out our imperms for evenlies, thinking that he was going to make me go second. He made me go first, so it proved me wrong. We had Droplet, we had Shisha, we had Sahasrara, we had Protos calling dark again. So we were chilling, and we had Evenly and Incredible Ecclesia in hand. So Incredible Ecclesia, thank you for being glued to my hand all night. He tried to play, but we just forced him into a stall where he couldn't do much, and so we just took it. He tried to play through, Droplet was hit him, the Shishao hit him, the Sahasrara forced him to attack into my non-effect monster token that I created, but he didn't want to do that. He had the traps, or he had a trap and a call by. I drew Ultimate Slayer, we went Slayer, targeted, sent it in Garura, targeted his Gulamil. He activated the trap, but he could only target my non-effect monster, so he bounced his monster back. So Ultimate Slayer either way resolves, kinda. We tried Garura, but he called by it, switched everything to attack mode, and just swung in for game. So we were able to take it there. So we ended up night 3-1, which is not bad. Our only loss being against Vanquish Soul, playing Nuvellis, so I mean a rogue deck, playing against Vanquish Soul, playing against Azamina. Yeah, Azamina Illusion, and then playing against Draco Tail. So I mean, we saw 2 of the big 3 decks that are coming into the format for Justice Hunters. And the fact that we beat one of them, I'm impressed. Playing against Vanquish Soul was just a little hard. Like, I know the deck and just the hands that we saw was not great. But to end the night 3-1, hoping to be in top 4 based off of just how things played, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with Tenyi Swordsoul. I'll let you know how we place once the night is over. All right, so we end the night 4th place, 3-1, and we top. So can't be any more happier about that with Swordsoul Tenyi, and a board breaker Swordsoul Tenyi at that. So, honest thoughts and opinions, I think it's got potential. The deck is still good, so huge shout out to the person in my comments that commented on my video back in February about the Swordsoul Tenyi. The deck is still good, it's got map potential, and just takes a skilled pilot. That's all it takes. But that's it for this Local Diaries, everyone. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and we'll catch you on the next one.